Okay, now you are going to see summary of accounting ratios. The first one is, as you know very well, liquidity ratios. Okay, so under liquidity ratios, the first one is current ratio, correct? So current assets divided by current liabilities. So whatever numerator, denominator, how you keep the formula, that is very important. So current assets divided by current liabilities. So numerator, what is the numerator, what is the denominator? So that is naturally keep in your mind. Ratios is very easily you can remember. Okay. So what is expressed here? How you expressed? Expressed in the form of P ratio. Okay. So what is significance? So significance nothing but so short-term financial soundness of the business. Okay. The higher ratio means better capacity to meet its current obligations. So what is the ideal current ratio? 2:1. If it is very high, it shows the idleness of funds. Okay. So you can easily meet the short-term financial soundness of the business. That is the idea here. Okay. That's a very important ratio. Current assets divided by current liability, current ratio. The second one is very well in the current ratio. Before that, you should know what is the items available in current assets. Okay. Should be keep in your mind. The current investments, inventories. Inventories nothing but excluding stores and loose tools. Then trade receivables, net of provision for doubtful debts. So you have to deduct our doubtful provision for doubtful debts. That's what here trade receivables. Then cash and cash equivalents, short-term loans and advances, and other current assets. Okay. Similarly, what's the current liabilities here? Short-term borrowings, trade payables, other current liabilities, and short-term provisions. Here, when you say it is called current assets, assets which is realized within the year. Correct. That's why it is called current assets. Similarly, current liabilities you have to pay within the year. Okay. So that's why the current ratio is very important. Then going for second one, it may be liquid ratio or quick ratio or acid test ratio. Okay. So what is the formula here? Liquid assets or quick assets divided by current liabilities. Okay. So here how you expressed, here also you can express the pure ratio. So what is significance here? We are preparing this ratio. Fairly stringent measure of liquidity. Okay. So based on those current assets which are highly liquid, it can be converted into cash and cash equivalents very easily. Correct. So what is the ideal quick ratio? 1:1. So higher the quick ratio, so naturally better the short-term financial position. We can be able to keep the business. Okay. That's what here liquid ratio, or you can also call quick ratio or acid test ratio. Okay. Here, what is the meaning of quick assets? Nothing but here, as a current assets, you know already, the items available, you have to deduct inventories and prepaid expenses, correct? That's what your quick assets. Current liabilities, you know already, again, short-term borrowings, trade payables, other current liabilities and short-term provisions here, okay? So once again, what is the meaning of quick assets? Current assets minus inventories minus prepaid expenses, okay? Then, the solvency ratio, the second one. Under that, debt to equity ratio. What is the formula for debt to equity ratio? Again, numerator, denominator. Correct. Numerator, debt divided by equity. Correct. That's why here, debt divided by equity. Nothing but shareholders fund. Debt to equity ratio. Here, how again express here also pure ratio. So, why you are preparing this debt to equity ratio? Again, assess the long-term financial position and soundness of enterprise. Okay. So we are in a repaying capacity to meet our day-to-day expenses. Similarly, simultaneously, we have to meet our long-term also, correct, based upon our equity. What is our debt? So lower the debt to equity ratio, naturally, higher the degree of production enjoyed by the lenders. Okay, they can keep their money. They are keeping on checking how you are doing the business. They are verifying your day-to-day activities and all your position of the company. Okay, that's what here debt to equity ratio very important. Then debt to equity ratio here, what's the meaning of debt? Once again, the meaning of debt here nothing but long-term borrowings. What's the long-term borrowings? Debentures, mortgage and public deposits and long-term provisions. Provision for the long year. Similarly, shareholders fund. Correct. Equity nothing but shareholders fund. So what is the consist of that? Share capital. Its share capital may be equity share capital or preference share capital. Then reserves and surplus or non-current assets. Correct. Non-current assets here, tangible assets, intangible assets, then non-current investments, then long-term loans and advances, working capital, then non-current liabilities. Correct. So these are the coming under shareholders fund. So you should know what is the meaning of debt and equity. Nothing but shareholders. So you can easily do this debt to equity ratio. Okay. Then second one, total assets to debt ratio. Similarly, same manner here, numerator, denominator. So total assets divided by debt. Then here also expression is pure ratio. So what is significance here? Measure the safety margin available to lenders of long debts. Okay. So the safety is very important here. For you are meeting our long debts based upon our debt, what is our assets, correct? So measure the extent to which debt is being covered by assets. According to our assets, what is our debt? You can be able to repay the capacity, correct? So here, what is the total assets here? Nothing but non-current assets maybe consist of tangible and intangible. As you know already what is tangible, you can be able to touch and feel. Intangible cannot touch and feel, correct? So non-current investments, long-term loans and advances, then current assets. Similarly, what is the meaning of here? Debt, nothing but long-term borrowings, maybe debentures, mortgage, public deposits, and long-term provisions. Okay, that's what here, total assets to debt ratio, you should be keep in your mind. What's the meaning of total assets and what's the meaning of debt, okay? Then, third one, proprietary ratio. It's a very important one. Shareholders fund or proprietors fund or equity divided by total assets. Here numerator is what? Denominator what? Simply here. Okay, numerator is our shareholders fund. You can also call proprietors fund or equity divided by total assets. Here the expression is fraction. Maybe 1/3, 1/4 like that. Okay, that's why the expression also very important. So what is significance of your property ratio? The extent to which total assets have been financed by the proprietor. Okay, the higher the ratio, higher the safety margin for lenders and creditors. Okay, so the creditors can they will be very safe. Okay, so they can repay our money. That's what here they will verify your property ratio. Okay, here fourth one is interest coverage ratio. It's very important. So what is interest coverage ratio here? Nothing but a profit before interest and tax divided by interest on long-term debt. Here what's the meaning of interest on long-term debt? See, any debt you borrowed by debenture like that, you have to pay the interest, correct? That interest you have to make it tuition here. Okay, that's why our profit before interest and tax and dividend also divided by interest on long-term debt. Here expression is times, number of times, let me 1 or 2 or 3 like that. Okay, so expression is number of times. Its significance shows how many times the interest charges are covered by the profits available to pay interest. Okay, so higher the ratio, more secure the lenders is in respect of payment of interest regularly. So they will verify whether the company paying their interest regularly. We are in a position to pay the interest. Based upon that only we can move for the long-term debt. Okay, then the profit before interest and tax. What is the meaning? Nothing but profit after tax. Again we want to add tax and interest. That's what you will get once again. Profit before interest and tax. Okay. Then activity turnover ratio, our third one. For that, inventory turnover ratio. Nothing but cost of revenue from operations or cost of goods sold divided by average inventory. Here also a numerator and denominator. Okay. So cost of goods sold. Here average inventory. How you express here also number of times expression. How many times? 1, 2, 3 like that. Inventory turnover ratio. So here significance here measures how fast inventory is moving and generating sales. Here what's the inventory here? Our stock position. So quickly whatever the stock, nothing but our unsold item. You can easily ready to sell anytime. That's what. Moving, generating sales very quickly. It will measure the inventory turnover ratio. So higher the ratio, so naturally more efficient management of inventories and vice versa. So here what is the meaning of average inventory? Nothing but our opening inventory and closing inventory divided by 2, you will get average inventory. Okay. Then the second one is very important. The trade receivables turnover ratio. Here the formula is credit revenue from operations. Here what is the credit revenue? Nothing but our credit sales. So then only when a person become debtor, when you dealing on goods on credit, okay, so customer can pay later on. So collectively summary of all the customers, they can pay. That's what our debtors or trade receivables. Here trade receivables nothing but our debtors and bills receivable. Okay, here credit revenue from operations divided by average trade receivables. Okay, how express number of times. Here significance shows efficiency in the collection of amount due from trade receivables. So higher the ratio, better it is, since it indicates that debts are being collected more quickly. Correct. So we are giving less credit period to our customers like 15 days or 30 days. Quickly we will get our money easily. Okay.